this new moon in Cancer is happening in your 4th house, Aries. So this could be new developments regarding your home. Potentially some of you may be moving to a new home or getting ideas about a new home. Some of you may be becoming new parents, or there's something where like a parent is moving into your home. 4th house guides the house and home and parenting and nurturing. And new moons are times when new beginnings happen. So it could be the purchase of a new home, moving to a new home, having someone enter your home, potentially you going somewhere new to live, or again, becoming a new parent. And for some of you, it may just be something new in the home. It may be like a new puppy, or redecorating, or adding an addition to your house, adding a garden. It's a really great time to initiate projects that are related to home life or begin anything new. It may also shine a light on something that was a blind spot for you because it is a partial solar eclipse. Sometimes that can illuminate things that are in the shadows or a blind spot regarding your home. Like for some of you, it may be discovering that, pipes need to be fixed in the basement, or, something along those lines where you discover something in your home that either needs repair, or it could be something that you discover that you want to, make an investment in. So it could be like, discovering something good in your home, discovering something in the attic that is a treasure or is valuable. So new beginning in the home, beginning July 12th. And with this new moon, we've got Pluto in the sky opposing both the sun and the moon at 21 degrees Cancer. And the Sabian symbol for 21 degrees Cancer is a prima donna singing. So sometimes Pluto energy can bring up power struggles or dynamics, or, for some of you, it could be like engaging in power struggles with a roommate, something like that, especially if there's someone new that has moved into the home. Usually Pluto will bring up the things that control us. Now, whether that's addictions or other people trying to control us, it brings up power dramas. And with this Sabian symbol, it's sort of like stuff is playing out on stage. So you can either be a part of that, Aries, and engage with that. It can sometimes be volcano energy, which has things erupt, and it can be very explosive. Or there is also a trine of Earth in the sky at the same time. We've got Venus in Virgo, we've got Uranus in Taurus, and we've got Saturn in Capricorn, all forming a trine, which is harmonious energy. So another option is, instead of engaging in the dynamics that go on, the power struggles, or any Pluto energy, you can sit back and observe it and just ground yourself and sort of be like one of the audience members watching the play that's going on stage. So that's some of the energy for the new moon. And then the full moon, July 27th, is a total lunar eclipse. It's also known as the blood moon. And the moon is always about our emotions. So this is one of the longest total lunar eclipses in 100 years. So it may bring up things that are deep within your, deep emotions, bring those to the surface. And with it happening in your 11th house, that's the house of friendships, of social circles, of networks, of your audience. So it may be a time where a spotlight is going to be shown there. And it may be a time to reevaluate and complete some of your friendships or some of your social circles. There may be a social circle that you've engaged with for a while that is now coming to completion. It's now, you've realized that it's not for you anymore. And for some of you, it just may be a very social time where your 11th house is lit up and your deep-seated emotions are being brought to the surface by your friends. There may be interactions that bring things, either old traumas or just deep emotions that bring illumination to certain blind spots that you may have had, especially in regards to 11th house matters. This can also include social media. It can include anything on the internet, like websites or blogs. 11th house rules that. So good time to release things that are no longer serving you. Good time to complete things. And there's a spotlight there. There's something that is being illuminated for purging and releasing and healing also. So let's take a look at the cards here. We've got Justice. It looks like July, the opening of July, is bringing some kind of justice, some kind of verdict, the balancing of the scales. If there was something that felt unfair or unjust, justice is here to set it right at the beginning of July for you. And this is also weighing evidence on something. It's letting weighing the pros and the cons and looking at the evidence before you and rendering a verdict. So some of you may be making a decision, especially regarding, any conflicts that have happened in the past. And there may be a way in which you're having a hard time making a decision because these conflicts do not want to seem to go in the past. They're remaining, even though the actual battle happened in the past or the conflict happened in the past, it seems to be lingering here. So, if there's something that went on in the past and it was related to conflict, try to let that go. Try to gain the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding. That's what these swords represent. Sort of the silver lining of the experience that came along with that, but to let it go. It's not going to serve you to focus on something from the past that the sun has set on, even if it was conflict. It may be influencing your decision making here at the beginning of July. You may need to render a final verdict on a situation that involved conflict that seems to be lingering. And that's going to really help you, Aries. You may have to let the bygones be bygones here, or make your decision with clarity. Having learned the lessons, really examine what happened in the past, because you need to learn these lessons and collect these swords, these pieces of insight, or it may repeat. So be conscious of letting bygones be bygones, letting battles of the past be in the past, and let that inform your decision making, because that's what will enable you to make a just and right and correct and true verdict here when you make this decision. And it also shows that justice will prevail in any conflict that may have been lingering from the past. And maybe your justice arrives here at the beginning of July. I also see you kind of maybe enjoying being single. This is 9 of Coins. This is the person who has put themselves in a nice position through self-discipline, through maybe saving their money up. She's often depicted as wearing nice clothes, eating grapes. She's got a falcon here. She's wearing jewelry. So this is the person who has made good decisions and put themselves in a good place. And it's kind of, I just sometimes call this my sitting pretty card. She's comfortable and happy being single, being in a place of luxury. And you can thank yourself for putting yourself in that place, Aries. Maybe just enjoying the finer things of life. And it's showing too that there's something that you're having a hard time moving on from. This is 8 of Cups. So 8 of Cups means being complete with a cycle. It means being ready for the next chapter, especially as it relates to love. Especially, some of you may be deepening a relationship, but you're having a hard time with that. It's almost like you may want to deepen it, but it's not being allowed. I'm just showing that you're having a hard time moving on from something, and it's right here around this new moon, right around July 12th. So I'm going to encourage you to see, even if you've invested in something a lot, even if a lot of your heart energy has been put in there, you might want to ask yourself, is this really still serving me, or am I ready for the next thing? Am I ready to leave? If it's causing you a certain amount of weariness or heaviness, that's an indication that you're ready to move on to the next thing, even though there's some fear, doubt, or resistance about moving on to that next step. And then I see here in the middle of the month, I see Page of Coins. This can sometimes be an earth sign person, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. And this is someone who's willing to learn something new or willing to receive something. So you may be beginning a new endeavor of study. Which you could be very successful at, by the way. This is right next to Chariot. You may be traveling to see an earth sign person, although they're looking away. So it may be, I don't necessarily see them coming towards you, but I see you potentially going towards them. But this tends to be young-hearted, young energy. It's slow moving. It's inexperienced. So there is something new to be learned here, but it may be that you're chasing after it. It may be that you are the person going out ahead. The pages are usually messengers that go out ahead. And it may be that you are taking your chariot and you're going after this person. And there is something to be learned here. There is success and victory, but there just may be a lesson to be learned here. So that's what I'm seeing. But you have to trust your instincts and trust your gut in your decision making. That's what Chariot's about. Chariot knows how to balance the left brain and the right brain. So you can use your mind in this decision, but it needs to be just as equally balanced with your gut feeling about something. Your mind may be telling you one thing and your gut may be telling you something else, and you really need to listen to both of them. That's what the two horses represent. You really have to trust your instincts and your intuition when Chariot comes up, because that's what will lead you to victory and success. Chariot succeeds because he listens to both. He doesn't just listen to his mind, and he doesn't just go by his, creative, passionate, irrational side, his wild self. He listens to both, and therefore he's able to make decisions that are accurate on the fly and cross the finish line and achieve success. It's a great card of success. And some of you may also be traveling. Some of you may be having not seeing eye to eye with a water sign. This is Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. This is someone who is generally pretty compassionate, leads with their heart, considers other people's feelings, but I see here also that they are turned away from you as well. That they're not seeing eye to eye with you. They're not your best ally in July. They're not necessarily seeing things from your point of view. They may be receiving something that you want, Aries. It looks like this is being offered to them, and it may be something that you want. It may be a gift where you're seeing them get the job offer or the relationship or the opportunity, the event, getting the invitation to the party that is something that you would like, and you're looking at them as why are they getting this thing? Why is the gift being offered to them? Because keep in mind, these two are very similar cards, Page of Coins and Ace of Coins. These are both gifts. This is the person who has received the gift, and this is the gift being offered. So potentially be careful of any jealousy towards a water sign person here in July, especially towards the middle of the month. It's just not where your focus should be. Your focus should be on moving forward, achieving success and victory in your own life, learning something new here. So if there's a water sign involved, I would just say, see if you can not focus on that, focus on yourself, focus on your instincts. You may need to do something that's unconventional. This is Hierophant in reverse, and usually he speaks to conventionality, doing things in a traditional way. Often it's a card of commitment or marriage. So if you're looking to be in a committed relationship with an earth sign person, there's some challenges there. Or potentially this could be if you're married to another fire sign. This could be you or another fire sign, Aries. This is the King of Wands. And he's usually very dynamic, very bold, makes big decisions. In the reverse, he can be aggressive or bossy or controlling. And it could be that you're in a committed relationship with a fire sign where he's got a certain vision of things and you're trying to work on things together, but you're finding some challenges or difficulties with that. I'm going to say that with Hierophant in the reverse, try to look at things from a different point of view. Try to approach things unconventionally, untraditionally, because that will serve you. There may be something here to learn. It's also echoing this page of coins, who is someone who's willing to learn something, but this is saying you're not getting the higher lesson here. You're not getting the spiritual lesson. So be open to that. Be open to seeing that. And if there is a fire sign person who's challenging your authority, you may have to see, where do you have a common goal? Where do you have a common vision? Because this is Two of Wands in reverse. This can mean just struggles in terms of achieving what you want to achieve, because you're not clear on what your goal is. You're not clear on a common goal. This could be you or someone else, like I said, Aries. So if this is representing you, be careful of not being aggressive. Be careful of not being overly fiery, especially with your words, and especially as it relates to a relationship or a committed relationship. See if there's a way that you can focus on common goals, on either assisting someone else or being assisted by someone else. This too, in reverse, is saying be careful of being overly bold, overly cocky, overly domineering, because it's actually thwarting your goals. What you want to focus on, these are very different. What you want to focus on is collaborative work, compromise, things where you're building things together. This usually depicts 3 people, and they're building something creative together. It's producing results. So what this is saying is if someone's trying to be in control, whether it's you or another fire sign, and you're not seeing the common goal, the results, this pearl is going to be dropped. It's going to be lost. Whereas if you can focus on the common goal, the results that you want to achieve, you know, where it is that you're heading that's going to be successful, it shows that there can be a lot of success there. This is usually creative projects. It's group dynamics are favored here. Sometimes I call this multiple streams of income. Things that you produce and that reward you with coins or financial returns. So this is really the best thing that you can be focusing on. Maybe you're starting a business with your friends. Maybe you're putting your energy into multiple different projects that give you return. Just don't let it turn into an ego battle with another fire sign or someone who's trying to assert control and being aggressive about it. You'll lose sight of what the goal is here. You may need to approach things in an unconventional way and see where you're putting in effort that's actually producing results. That's collaborative, group dynamics. You may even want to consult with someone. And with this full moon in your 11th house of friendships, consult your networks. You may get some nice returns from that, Aries.